So what's going on, guys? I want to get on here today and answer one of the questions that I hear yesterday. I think it was I put on here what is soft washing, or the day before, and just want to get on here today and talk about how much does pressure washing cost and why. That really just depends on where you're at, what you have. I mean, I'll just throw out some prices here. If it's a regular double wide house, just regular double wide, no, say it's probably, I don't know, say 50-60 foot long, and you don't have a bunch of porches to deal with and things of that matter, I mean, it may be between $200 and $275, depending on landscape and depending on stuff like that. And then if you add some covered porches are a nightmare. I mean, you get soaked. I mean, I've tried all the things to keep from getting soaked, and I still stay soaked. But if it has a porch on it, it may add more to it. It may be more like $275, $300. Like a small house, like I had a lady I used to mow for, and she had a small house. I think I washed it for like $150 one time because it was just so little, and I was just kind of getting started. But it really just depends on what you have. I mean, you may have a single story house, and it's real easy, between $200 and $300. If you have a 2-story house, I'd say it's probably going to be on the $300 to $400. And then if you have, like I said, you got wraparound porches, you have balusters and handrails and porch rails, all that adds up. So if you had a normal size, I don't even know what you consider normal, honestly. Everybody always goes off 1,600 and 2,500 square feet. I don't price by square feet. I just look at the house. I know what I can get for it, and that's just came from experience. I see it and I'm like, okay, that house is 225, and then it's like, okay, well then I go to the next house and it may be that same size, but it has a covered porch. Well, it may be 250. It all depends. That's just house washing. Roof washing, I had a lady one time, I washed her house, and it was like $225, and then she had a carport she wanted me to wash, and it was all metal. And I said, $225. And she goes, wow, how'd you end up washing my whole house for $225, but my carport's going to be the same? And I said, the chemical usage. I may use a couple gallons doing a house, but if I'm going to have to hit some metal with some black algae and kill it, I got to use a lot more chemical, and so that makes the price go up. You got to get up there, and sometimes you may have to hit it with a little bit of pressure. I mean, you never know what you got to do with it, until you get there. See how easy it comes off. Roof washing, it all depends. I mean, if you're in a niche area, you may be able to get more. Like I said, I don't go by square feet. I would say that most of the time, I would think that most roofs are going to start out about $250 to $300 per side. That is per side, because some of these guys may not do half roofs, but I mean, if it only needs half, just do half. I mean, that's the way I look at it. That's the way I do. So if you're looking at roof washing, I would say, okay, well, if I just need one side done, it's going to be at least $300. That would be a good ballpark. Concrete, about the same. It's kind of silly because we use the same chemicals we do on the roof as we do on the concrete, and then just spray, instead of spraying it on and letting it set like we do a roof, we actually have to go back over it and pressure wash it, which you would think that would cost more than a roof wash, but it doesn't. Square feet is how I do a concrete, and I'll get on Google Earth, I'll look it up, and I'll go from anywhere from 12 to 20 cents per square foot. I get the square footage, I look it up, and then if it's, say, I'm doing, like tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a driveway that's, I think it's 3,900 square feet. It's like 38 and some change, and a sidewalk. So it's 39, you know. And I think on it, I may have charged 12 or 14. I can't remember, you know, and you'll be surprised that if you go from 14 to 15, you know, that's about a $70, $80 difference. So you just got to kind of get your niche to where you have people buying, basically. You know, you can't come at 20 cents a square foot. You know, nobody's going to do it. I price small driveways, and you might be able to get that, and always get what you can. But I just think that if you was hiring somebody, say, if you was hiring somebody, do your square footage, and, you know, go about 12 to 14 cents a square foot, and that should get you in the ballpark. So I don't want to say any math right off the top of my head, but, you know, let's just say this one. It's easy. 3,900 square feet. Well, if I'm doing 10 cents a square foot, that's going to be $390. So that's 10's a little low. I mean, 12 to 14 is probably where it's going to be at. So that covers roofs, house, concrete. And then, you know, some guys have minimums. You know, it may be 200, 225, 300, and they may do a bunch of work. You know, you may be wanting one side of the house done, but they charge a minimum, and they may wash something else for you while they're there. You never know. But that should get you in the ballpark. You know, I don't want to be vague, but, and everybody always wants that concrete price. How much does it cost? How much would it cost to do this? If you got wraparound porches, if you got overhangs, if it's 2-story, if you got to get on a ladder because you can't shoot it, you know, it's so high, which I've only had that problem once, and that was with my old machine, and I had to get on like 2 steps of a step ladder just to get into peak. But I mean, all that stuff, you got a ton of landscaping to deal with. Man, let me tell you, I did a house once, and it was out by the lake, and it had nothing but Japanese maples from one side to the other. You had to snake around all the landscaping walkway to get to the back, get to the front. We did a roof wash and a house wash on it, did the concrete, and I watered those Japanese maples more than I did the house. Like, that's a big risk. You know, if you have some landscape like that, you don't want to play around with it, because, you know, $250 house wash ain't going to cover a $1,000 Japanese maple if you got to replace it. So just keep that in mind. If you got a crappy landscape, it may make your price go up a little bit, but then it just goes, you know, big like that. My house is like, I don't know, 1,100 square feet, like what it says on the thing. And I mean, my house, I charge like $250 to do it, $225, $250, because it's easy. I have a small porch that's easy to get to. All the vinyl's easy to get to, and you know, it's not that big, not that big at all. So just give you guys an idea, but that's how much pressure washing costs. We'll see you next time.